should have known the Territor didn't mean us any harm when the Sword of Omens didn't obey me. And anyway, it was just plain stupid to assume it might be bad. Just what the fuck am I talking about?
I want to see your tits, my dear. Motherfucker!
Get over here, bitch.
Run out the fucking plank, boys!
Come here, motherfucker.
You gotta snap out of it, Lion-O! Call the Thundercats before...
Shut up, you fuck.
And keep your foot off that blasted Samo-flange.
What the fuck is a Samo flash?
I have to do that again.
Oh, Lion-O! We're not...
What's the matter, Snarf?
Got a cold.
It's when Wily Cat and Kid are pretending to be the most helpful that they're dropping their pens on the thing while I'm talking. Let's find the mega condenser. I'm saying that too fast. Let's find the mega condenser. Still going too fast.
What's wrong, Lion-O?
Oh, fuck, here it is again.
What's here again?
That thing, that mega thing.
Want me to say it?
Yes!
I'm going to put this one right between her pretty...
That's the line of the show right here.
Good morning.
Ship, engage autopilot.
Engage.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Mr. Saturday, and as you can tell from our cold opening and our theme, this is going to be a Thundercat heavy episode. That first clip comes from the actual crew of the Thundercats. They presented that to one of the animators as the birthday gift, and somehow it ended up on the web. How cool is that? On today's episode, we are going to discuss Super 8's Lion-O figure. But first,
top of the morning to you troops. This is Space General Captain James P. Jones, and today we're going to talk about some Marvel movie news. A few days ago, Marvel has just announced Kang the Conqueror will appear in Ant-Man 3. Portraying Kang the Conqueror would be Jonathan Majors. It's from a show called Lovecraft Country, if you haven't seen it. There is a lot of confusion about Kang the Conqueror. Or should I call him Kang the Confusing, because his origin story is very confusing. Even with reading some of the comics and looking at video, I still was a bit confused about him. But I'm going to break it down as simple as possible for you guys. So when your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your child whispers to you at the movie theater, who's Kang the Conqueror, you can simply say, he's a 31st century time traveler. He traveled back in time. He met Apocalypse. Him and Apocalypse had beef. So he traveled forward in time. He met Dr. Doom and was influenced by his style. He had beef with Cable. He time traveled again and became Immortus. He traveled again and became Iron Lad. He traveled so many times that there are different versions of him. Like I don't know who it is. Would you shut up so we can watch this movie, kid? To understand Kang the Conqueror, you have to understand the types of time travel, because there's all types of time travel. We've seen all types of movies. Most of us got our information from Back to the Future. That's our time travel rules. Mutable, immutable, and multiple. Mutable, if you go back in time and you do something, you can change an event. That's mutable. Immutable is if you go back in time and you can't change anything. It's destiny, and if that was meant to happen, that's going to happen. Multiple is if you go back in time and add another timeline. See, in understanding multiple time travel or multiple time travel rules, you'll understand Kang the Conqueror, because that's what he's about. First of all, Kang the Conqueror, his real name is Nathaniel Richards. He is a descendant of none other than Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. So already right there, to do him right, we need a proper Fantastic Four in the MCU. Off the rip. Anyway, in the 31st century, Nathaniel Richards gets his throat cut. A bully does it. It is safe to say that bullies in the 31st century do not play games. So he gets his throat cut. And in his recovery, he doesn't die. He's sent home and he's recovering. So on his convalescence, he is infatuated with his descendants, and he studies Reed Richards, and he finds time travel. And you have to keep in mind, in the 31st century, time travel is illegal. So he illegally builds a time machine, goes back in time, ancient Egypt, names himself Ramatut, rules Egypt because he has 31st century knowledge. Think about that. If you were to go back into the Revolutionary War with 20th century weapons, you dominate. Go with Uzis and they have muskets. It's a wrap for them. Anyway, he goes back in time. During his rule, he runs up on En Sabanun. And those of you who know who that is, that's Apocalypse. So, indication that we're gonna have to get a good X-Men in here. Hopefully, the MCU gets the X-Men right. So he has beef with Apocalypse, and he meets Dr. Doom. He's influenced by Dr. Doom's style, and he carries on whatever. He finds Cable, another time traveler. He has beef with Cable. He time travels again. He time travels that he makes so many different versions of Kang. There is a council of Kangs people. So this is how many times he splintered the timeline. A council of Kang. He becomes Immortus, he becomes Iron Lad, and I don't know, maybe he becomes Howard the Duck. I don't know, it's so confusing. Nevertheless, Kang decides in one of these time traveling adventures that he has to be the prime Kang, so he kills all the Kangs. He kills all the Council of Kangs. Confusion. So he becomes the strongest Kang, and let me live, guys. Let me live, Mr. Saturday. This is very confusing. Anyway, all you need to know. You know what? I'm not even gonna do all that. Here's all you need to know for the most common person to understand Kang. You don't have to be a comic book nerd. Just understand that he's a time traveler from the 31st century who went back in time, traveled forward back in time, traveled again, and anyway, Kang's power set is totally OP. His suit is basically a time machine. He can make force fields, he can fly, he can shoot projectiles out of his arms, he can call any weapon and then grab it. He can control gravity. He's a skilled hand-to-hand combat dude. He's gonna make a very entertaining character villain in a movie. And the thing about a good villain is you have to understand their motive. And Kang's motives, because he effed up the timeline so much, all he's trying to do is fix the timeline. And in one of those timelines, he meets a woman, he falls in love with her. So he's trying to fix the timeline and gain the heart of a woman he loves. And that's Kang in a nutshell. As simple as possible. So don't over confuse yourself. It's still, even with looking at the videos and reading about him, I am still very confused about Kang. I probably get a 85 on a multiple choice question test about Kang the Conqueror, or as I like to call him, Kang the Confusing. Anyway, let's get right to let's talk about the Lion-O action figure. Sir, back to you.
Today we're going to talk about Super 7's Thundercat Lion-O action figure. Here's a shot of the box. Nice and clean, plain. That first box of the packaging is protected because this is the true packaging of this. The Super 7 figure it's for adult collectors, and a lot of adult collectors tend to keep their stuff MOC. And for those of you that don't know what MOC is, that's mint on card. And for those of you that don't know what mint on card is, that means you just keep them in the packaging. This is the cool box right here. And once you slip that top cover off, your figure is revealed. Lion-O comes with a lot of stuff. The back of the package. It's all the characters with character art. Thundercat story on there. Lionel. The Sword of Omens. A claw shield. Another claw shield with a detachable Sword of Omens dagger. An alternative claw shield. Looks more furry, but that dagger doesn't detach. Another claw shield, a furry one without the dagger. 2 sets of alternative hands. The Book of Omens. And another Lionel head. And these are your Lionel accessories. Super 7's points of articulation with the Lionel Thundercats figure. First we have the neck rotation, vertical, up or down, yes, yes. Horizontal, left to right, no, no. We have the shoulders, there's a ball shoulder, rotating. Then we have the bicep swivel. Then we have the elbow. Then we have wrists, rotating and hinge. Then we have abdomen, articulation. The abdomen crunch, forward and back. Then we have waist, rotating. Leg, ball joint connect, rotates. Swivel, it's restricted by this. This is like a plastic cloth that could come off, but you wouldn't want to take that off because it'll ruin your figure. Knee, you have the boot articulation, I guess calf. Now you have your ankle rocker and hinge, and those are your points of articulation for Lionel. And those are the nuts and bolts of Super 7's Lionel Thundercat figure. Off the rip, I'm gonna tell you, this is a beautiful action figure. I love the way it's sculpted. I love all the accessories it comes with. The 4 claws, the sword, a dagger, another face, and a Book of Omens. They really went in. I love the packaging. It's definitely marketed for the adult collector. And I think a lot of adult collectors, I'm gonna assume that you guys keep your stuff MOC. So if you're an MOC guy, grab this figure as soon as you can. If you're an MOC guy and you're a fan of the Thundercats, grab this figure as soon as you can. Here's what I'll say about the articulation though. It's outdated. That's my issue. I have 2 issues with this. The outdated articulation. I feel like if a figure doesn't have the butterfly shoulders and the drop legs, it's outdated, man. This is 2020, and you know, a lot of guys are taking pictures of these figures and they want to put them in those dynamic poses. Like if you think about the intro sequence to that cartoon, you want your Lionel to look like that. That's the goal, to get the guys to be able to do all that cool stuff. You can't do that with this figure because the articulation is very basic. It's good, and it's not the weakest of articulation. At least it has the ab crunch and the waist, but it doesn't have the butterfly shoulders, and that's an issue for me as a collector because I also like to take photos of them. Another issue I have is, again, I do appreciate all the accessories, but you could have took away 2 of those claws and maybe the Book of Omens and gave me Snarf. That would have been a perfect figure to complement this. Snarf would have been a perfect accessory to complement this figure. Because I'm curious to know how you guys are gonna introduce him in the line. You're not going to be able to sell a Snarf figure at $50, not at his size. I hope you guys are planning to package it with Wily Kit and Wily Cat. And with that being said, those Wily Kit and Wily Cat better come with their surfboards. I don't give a shit if they don't have the little pills, those are gonna get lost anyway. Wily Kit and Wily Cat packaged together with their boards with Snarf. You're not gonna be able to sell Snarf by himself. I'm not buying him. I'm not paying $50 for a figure that's gonna be this small. Also, you guys announced 4 new figures. Where's Mandora? Where is Mandora? Pumra? Really? That's a fake Mumra. That's a fake Thundercat. He's not even, that's like a part of a story. Mandora is a reoccurring character. Man. Mandora, guys. Super 7. If you're listening to me, I demand a Mandora figure. I want her now. Our final grade for this Lionel, Lord of the Thundercats action figure, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Again, beautifully sculpted. It looks better than the cartoon, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I love this figure, but I don't like the way Super 7 does their articulation, and that's gonna prevent me from buying every figure in this collection. Yes, I'm probably gonna get Mumra. Yes, I'm getting Panthro, Tigra, Chitara, Wily Kid and Wily Cat, and Mandora if you sell them. And hell, I may even get the other, Bengali, Linkso, and Pumara. And I'm probably gonna get the damn mutants. Yes, I'm gonna have quite a few of these figures, but I'm not gonna go all out for the collection just because of the articulation. They do look great on your shelf, and they'll probably be more of a display thing for me. But and I'll probably take a few snapshots of them, but I'm not gonna go all out with the posing because they're just not really super posable. But beautiful figures. You're like,
how are you giving it? This should be a 10 ways to scrap.
I said it's an 8.5. You want to see me in the streets or the comment section? Let's go.
Anyway, it's the end of the show. I spazzed on him. I ain't playing shit.
Sir, calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. Okay, I'm calm. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hey, let me tell you guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys that watch this show every week. Hit the comment section, ask me anything. Please subscribe, like, share. Thank you. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Follow me, I'll follow you back. I take pictures. Thanks for showing up. And I'm going to go on a mission. Ship, disengage autopilot.
Autopilot, disengage.
You're out of here.
But I'm going to break it down as simple as possible for you so you can explain to your whispering girlfriend at the movie theater who exactly Kang the Conqueror is.
Who's Kang the Conqueror?
Shut up, bitch. I'm trying to watch a movie. We're not going to say that.